Hey guys, the kit for the new character that will be released in version 3.1, Rubuska, dropped. So I didn't want to waste any time and bring it to you. So let's jump straight in and look at her insight number 1. That says, when Rubuska joins the field, she grants all allies Shadow Playmate. Shadow Playmate makes it so that at the start of the round, all of your characters lose a certain percentage of HP. A portion of HP lost by Rubuska through this effect is converted into something called Shadow Attire. Shadow Attire increases the character's max HP, crit damage and ultimate might based on how many stacks of Shadow Attire you have. That is something that just happens passively and that you don't have to worry about too much. Then her insight number 3 says that when entering battle you grant all allies Blessing of Rubuska the First. Whenever an ally is attacked, Rubuska heals all allies. So she heals passively every single time an ally is attacked. She heals all of your allies. That's pretty incredible already. Blessing of Rubuska the First is when the bearer takes lethal damage, they will not leave the field and instead heal their HP. So this is a built-in revive. Alright? She accumulates Blood Tide passively whenever an ally loses HP. She grants all allies the effect that they lose HP, which fills the Blood Tide. And she grants herself stacks of Shadow Attire, which increases her maximum amount of HP, her crit damage and her ultimate might. Plus, all allies now gain a revive. Okay, let that sink in for a second and then let's look at her incantations. Her incantation number 1 says, that is a one target attack. You lose a certain amount of HP to deal reality damage. This attack counts as a retribution. Increase the Shadow Attire stacks of all allies who have Shadow Playmate. When attacking, damage is scaled with 20% of self's max HP instead of attack. So remember that every single turn you increase your maximum amount of HP because you convert the Shadow Playmate that you gain passively into Shadow Attire. The more Shadow Playmate is converted into Shadow Attire, the more amount of max HP you gain. So you scale throughout the entire battle and you will deal more and more and more and more damage. Cool. Then her incantation number 2 is a mass heal. You restore HP to all allies. This cannot crit. You increase the Shadow Attire stacks of all allies who have Shadow Playmate. So every single time you use an incantation, you will increase the maximum amount of HP, the crit damage and the ultimate might of all of your allies. Now let's look at her ultimate real quick and read that. That is a one target buff and the target enters something called Shadow Feast and you heal all allies. Shadow Feast makes it so that you drain all Shadow Attire stacks from all allies other than the target. The target gains a portion equal to the summary of the drained Shadow Attire. The extra Shadow Attire provided by the starters does not affect the target's own Shadow Attire gained and can exceed the normal limit. The crit damage and ultimate might gained from the extra Shadow Attire is slightly lower than normal. What does that mean? That means that you use your ultimate onto one of your allies. And now all these stacks from all of the allies that you use this target buff on, you will use this on Nautica, right? Okay, well, let's break this down from the beginning. You apply Shadow Playmate to all of your allies. And you can convert this Shadow Playmate into stacks of Shadow Attire by using your incantations. That means that every time you use an incantation, you increase maximum amount of HP, critical damage and ultimate might to all of your allies. So all of your allies stack up on Shadow Attire, which means they stack up on max HP, crit damage and ultimate might. Okay. Now through your ultimate, you choose a target, you choose Nautica. Now all the Shadow Attire stacks that you accumulated and spread across all of your team will slowly but surely all go onto Nautica, which means her max HP, her critical damage and her ultimate might stacks upon each other every single turn by turn by turn. It gets more and more and more and more. And remember that every single instance of damage that Nautica does is based upon how high her maximum HP is. Also, yeah, the crit damage and the ultimate might, I mean, that explains itself, but that's the whole point. You gather a lot of stuff to your team, and all of this stuff that you stack upon your team gets absorbed by Nautica if Rubuska uses her ultimate on her. That is incredible, right? So all in all, you heal very much because you heal passively and you can also heal actively. You will deal a respectable amount of damage. You will deal at least more damage than Medicine Pocket would. But what it all comes down to is apply Shadow Playmate. That happens passively. Use your incantation to stack up on Shadow Attire across all of your teammates, and then use your ultimate to provide as many stacks of Shadow Attire as possible to Nautica to increase her max HP, crit damage and ultimate might. That's basically Rubuska in a nutshell. Now, of course it goes a little bit deeper, and we're gonna talk about everything, like how good is this character, is she a must pull, will she replace Medicine Pocket in her team, will she maybe replace someone else in the Blood Tide team, is she playable outside of Blood Tide maybe, and all of this kind of stuff. We will talk about that in my next video though. Here I just wanted to bring you her kit real quick, and that's about the video, guys. I hope that was fun and informative. If you like Reverse1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, don't forget to join the Discord server, link in the description down below, and we love this game.